Hello everyone and welcome back to my scrappy place. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today while I show you this lovely card. I have to do a disclaimer first of all. This is not my design, but I loved it so much I thought I would copy and share it from Dina Rico. She makes absolutely amazing cards and this is one of them. So I thought that we would try and get more into the fall-like feel by doing this card today. I live in Northeast Oklahoma. Totally not feeling like fall. I think it's probably close to 80 degrees, maybe a little bit more than that, but maybe by doing this card we'll start to feel a little more fallish. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a little bit of sparkly to it. Got a little bit of bling bling. Stitching around this. Let's get started, okay? The stamp set that we're going to use to make this card is called Colorful Seasons, and I love it because it does have all 4 seasons in this particular stamp set. It's our photopolymer, so they're clear and you can see through them. But you can see we've got fall, and we've got winter, and we've got some springtime, and we've got some summery things here, and it's got some really nice sayings that I like as well. And we're going to be using the May All Your Tomorrows Be As Happy As Today, and we're going to be using these 2 stamps as well. So here's what we need to get started, okay? First off is our card base. This is our Fresh Fig, one of the new in colors for this new catalog, the 2017-2019. It's cut at 11, which is basically the entire length of one piece of cardstock, and then cut at 4 1/4, so 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2 so that it folds this way. Our next piece is going to be Early Espresso, and this piece measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And you're going to see this circle in the middle here, and I'll explain about that here in just a second. Our next layering piece is going to be a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and this one is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. The layering pieces that we're going to need is from the Early Espresso, and you'll see I have this cut in the largest scalloped frame from the circling layering circles framelets. And what I did, you're not going to see this, so I just cut it right out of the middle, save some paper, because once we layer that on top, you're never going to see it. See? Magic paper. There we go. So we've got the largest scalloped from the layering circles framelets, and then I took very vanilla, move this out of the way so you can see it, and I took the largest stitched circle, and if you look really carefully, let's see if we can get it in here, you can see how it looks like it's been sewn, and this die cuts it out and punches those little holes to make it look like it has been stitched. So super easy. We're also going to be using a little bit of our Fresh Fig coordinating ribbon and some of our gold metallic thread to give it a little bling. We're going to use some Wink of Stella to give it a little bit more bling, and we're going to do a little bit of spritzing with our Stampin' Marker. So here we go. Very easy. Won't take us very long at all. Get everything out of the way. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we need to do our stamping first. So let's get our very vanilla. Oh, I guess I do need to show you the ink that we're going to be using, don't I? Here's our color combination today. We've got Early Espresso, Fresh Fig, Cajun Craze, and Crushed Curry. And we're going to be using those. So let's go ahead and open them up. And what I'm going to do is open my Crushed Curry. I'm going to start with the lightest first. And I apologize if I'm making a lot of noise throwing things around. Then I am going to tap, tap, tap. And the first thing I want to do, I don't want this really, really dark, so I'm going to stamp off. Okay. And then I'm going to bring it on my card and stamp like that. You see how light, oops, and I've already got a smudge, but that's okay. We can fix it. Stamp off. And make sure you change the directions of your leaves as you're stamping, okay? Stamp off, and then we'll put one more in yellow down there, okay? And while we have the ink out, let's go ahead and get our circle piece and do that as well. Same thing, we're going to stamp, tap, 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 stamp off, and right about there, stamp, stamp, and okay, so guys, how many of you guys like fall? I mean, it's like I'm sick and tired of the hot weather. I'm not ready for it to be cold. I'm not ready for ice and snow that we sometimes tend to get in Oklahoma. Not at all. Let me get something to clean my step with here. But I am ready for fall. I like the leaves changing. I like the cooler days, the cooler evenings. So I am totally ready for fall to get here. All right, let's take our next color. This is the Cajun Craze. Okay. I'm expecting my family to walk in at any minute, so they're going to be in here thinking I'm talking to myself, but I'm absolutely nuts. So we're going to play it by ear. Again, I'm going to stamp off again because I don't want it so dark. And I'm going to put that right about there. Smash it down. Oh, isn't that pretty? It's already starting to look like fall. Stamp off. I told you I made that little goober right there, so let's just cover it up. Can't even tell it now. Stamp off, and let's put one, I don't know, right about, face it that way. And take another one, stamp it off, and let's do just a little bit on there. Okay, it's a little bit darker than I wanted, but that's okay. All right, let's do the same thing on our circle. Stamp it off, and let's put it right there. And maybe just a little peeking at the bottom. Okay. Look, I smudged again. Okay. This is just going to be a smudgy color, but we will fix it. Don't worry about that. So let's put that one away and move on to our third color. This one is the Fresh Fig. Clean off my stamp because I don't want to get the Cajun Craze onto my Fresh Fig pad. So stamp that up. Do it off. This is such a pretty kind of purpley color. Let's put that one right there. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, we'll do another one. Just kind of go right, face it that way. And let's do one more at the top. Let's bring it right in there and smush that down. There we go. All right, so this piece is finished. Beautiful. All right. I think the squirrels are actually starting to get ready for fall because every once in a while we live in a single-story home, and I can hear the squirrel running across the roof. Sounds like a little beat pattern up there. Kind of freaky at night when the other critters do it. You just never know what's up there. But anyway, all right, let's put, I got a little goober on this stamp. I'm going to try and keep that off of there. Let's do it right there. See how that did? I don't know what that is, but it's okay. And I think that looks good. Okay. So, oh, before I put the Fresh Fig away, on this card base, it's really kind of hard to tell, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but I'm going to take my stamp and my Fresh Fig, and I'm going to do tone on tone on here. It just gives it a little bit of something else. Like I said, you really can't see it on the camera, but you can see it well. And I think I'm just going to go straight for it. I don't know. Let's see how dark it is. Okay, got a little bit of goober again. I don't know what that is. It looks like maybe a little bit of a bubble. And there's not going to be a rhyme or a reason to it. I'm just going to really go all over this puppy. Mush down good. Yeah, I think you'll be able to see this one better by doing it full strength. And I'm not going all the way in the middle. I don't need to because it's going to cover it up a little bit. Let's turn it this way, and there we go. Okay, now you can see the design on here. So let's put this away and put the ink away because I will have a mishap. That's just kind of the way it goes. Yeah, always does. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to go ahead, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my cinnamon on this one. And yeah, this is pretty busy in the background. I apologize. But I'm going to take my cinnamon that I have mounted on my block, and we're going to use the early espresso. And we're going to ink this up really good. And the nice thing about the photopolymer stamps is you can see straight through them, so I can see where I'm going to go. So I'm going to line it up right about there and give it a press. A minute, and it's going to stick. I know it is. So I'm going to put my ruler in there and hold it down. And there we go. Oh, beautiful. Not even smudged. Well, I couldn't do that again if I tried. All right, so we're going to take the outline of the leaf, and this to me is what makes the card just pop. Okay, so I'm going to put a little, whoops, that was almost a disaster. I saved it. I'm going to put a little bit right up here. Yep, there's no blooper reels here. What you see is what you get. So if I goober it, yep, you're going to get it. You're going to get to see it because I don't know how to edit my videos yet. All right, so there we go. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, we're going to do the same thing. Where did it go? Oh, there's over here with this one. And I'm going to take my early espresso, and I think I'm going to put one right about right there. Yeah. And I'm going to put one coming off the bottom of the page right about there. And I'm going to take one and go, how do I want to do this? Like that? Yeah, sure. There we go. All right. Love it. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. We're almost done, guys. Really, we are truly, truly almost done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to take my early espresso and I am going to just mount this. What I do, I just see a little bit of a snip there. Let's take our paper snips and cut that off because I like it nice and clean. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm going to take my fast fuse because I love the fast fuse, and I am going to put a check. Well, maybe I can get a check mark. Here we go. All right. Well, it's still not going to work. See, we're not perfect demonstrators. We just go with the flow. You would be surprised at how many times we goober things up. Check. 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 And with the fast fuse, and I sometimes forget this, you don't have to push really, really hard, and I tend to do that. Just a light touch, but do that check. And it is super, super sticky. Okay. We're going to take this and line it up so we just have a little bit of the border peeking out around the edge. And I'm trying not to smush it down until I get it lined up pretty well the way I like it, and that looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and smush that down. I got a little bit of sticky on this edge, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to take a piece of my fresh fig ribbon that coordinates beautifully, and I'm just going to cut a piece that's, I don't know, about just a little bit wider than that piece. Snip it off, and I think I want it to be right about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my card over, and I'm going to put a little bit of fast fuse right there, and stick that down, and it will stay. And I'm going to do the same thing. See if I can do it. I hope I'm in shot. I'm not even paying attention, guys. I'm sorry. Here we go. Well, I can't do it upside down. Yeah, I thought I was going to be cool. No. I promise the fast fuse isn't that hard to use. I'm just making it really difficult while I'm on camera, of course. All right, so there's that part. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I like the bling. See, can you tell my Diana ring, my Princess Diana ring? That kind of dates me. That tells you how old I am. I guess now most people will be calling it a Kate ring. But anyway, okay, so we're about 14 minutes into this video. I don't want to keep you too long, so let's do this really quickly and finish it up. I'm going to take a little bit more of my fast fuse. Down here, check and check. And I'm just going to take my gold. Excuse me, guys, I'm fixing to cough. Okay, and I'm going to the gold thread, metallic thread. I'm going to lay it here, and I'm just going to wrap it around the card. Now, however many times I like, because anybody that knows me knows I like the bling. like I just said. And that looks good. And I'm going to smush it down on that fast fuse right there. Okay. And I'm going to trim it. And I always make sure that I keep my ends. Whoops, I'm out of the shot again. I'm going to keep my ends in there. I flip this over and I'm going to adhere it to my card base, and I'm going to do that with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I am not shy about using the dimensionals. Part of the, like I said in an earlier video, one of the nice things about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I get a discount on all my products. And so, you know, I have a ton of this stuff. And something else, when you get these, you get, like, there's like 300 in the package. But I use every little piece of it, so I even cut up the edge pieces. Because I just don't want that going anywhere. That looks good. Okay. I apologize if the camera is a little bit shaky. It's attached to my table. I haven't got my tripod set up yet for my actual video camera. Having a little bit of technical difficulty with that. I'm going to need my Geek Squad, aka my son, to help me with that. Okay, I take the base that we stamped on, and I'm just going to center that. That looks pretty good, and I'll press that down. I'm going to take my circle that I put, and I'm going to get my fast fuse going. See, it's so much easier when you don't try and squish it down and kill it. And I'm going to line it up, and this is a very teeny tiny little edge that you're going to be seeing. It's going to be poking out, but that's okay. This makes it pretty. There. And then I'm going to take some more of my dimensionals, and I get to throw, it looks like I get to throw this piece away. So there we go. And I'm sorry, I keep bumping my camera. I apologize. I'm sorry. Hope I'm not making you sick, motion sickness watching my jumpy video. All right. Now, we're going to take this, I'm going to pop it right about, yeah, that looks good. Okay, beautiful, beautiful as it is. But I still think it needs a little bit of something. And this is one of the things that Dina loves to do. I've watched her videos a million times. So, like I said, this is the idea that I got from her. Totally not my idea. Can't take credit for it, but here we go. We're going to do some spritzing. I love to spritz now that I've learned how to do it. I'm taking my marker. These are our Stampin' Right markers. One end has got a brush tip, nice and thick on this end. The other end, you can write with it. Can you see? Can you see that it's a more fine tip pen? Okay. Yeah, I've got ink all over my hands. We're going to take the brush tip. We're going to put the tip of the brush right into the cap, and we're going to flick it. Move that one out of the way. And we're going to flick it again. And we're going to flick it again. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Nice and spritzed. That is gorgeous. Can you see it? Can you see the little dots of spritzy? Okay, perfect. But we need more bling. This is our Wink of Stella. This is the clear. And all I'm going to do, and this has got a brush tip on it as well, and it's just so sparkly and beautiful. I don't know if you can see that glittery. I'm going to take it, hold it, and just whack, 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 whack on my pen. And you really can't tell it from what you're seeing right there, but there is sprinkling little sparkly glimmers. I don't know if you can see it or not on the camera, but it is so pretty. And guys, that's it. Now, the next thing I would do, I'm not going to show you this on camera. Oh, well, why not? We've got a dark background. You're going to send this card to somebody. It's going to be hard to write on this. So what I always do is I take a lighter shade of cardstock, usually in the same color that I used on the front, either, you know, very vanilla or whisper white. And I cut it. This one is a little bit smaller, but I typically cut it at 5 1/4 by 4. But this is one that I just happened to grab. So it's a little bit smaller, but it's still going to work. And I'm just going to put it right in here. And if I want to, I can stamp a sentiment. We've got another, you know, we've got all sorts of different things that come in here. Life is a beautiful thing. Thinking of you, you make me smile. I'm going to leave this one blank so that I can handwrite my greeting to my friend that's going to get this. And if she's watching, oh, just pretend like you don't see it. It'll be in your mail soon. But isn't it beautiful? Again, thank you so much for coming and watching. If you like my videos, subscribe button right down there. I also have my blog. Come see me at www.myscrappyplace.com. I will have all the products that I use, the cuts, everything in the description. Again, thank you so much. Bye-bye.